actually like just destroy a bucket of kittens or something. I like kittens too much. It'd have to be like a bucket of frogs or something. But
those Iron Banner weapons, though,
are they? Which ones are they? Spoilers. Do we have any new one? I think these are
sidearm, auto rifle.
Wait, there's no sidearm. That's Camille's dagger, bruh.
Oh, the top right.
Top right is a grenade launcher.
Yeah, that is.
Okay. Yeah, no laggy. Okay. What's up, everyone? Jeez, we have a lot of people here. Welcome. Oh my goodness, I'm too tall for my webcam. Let me. Okay. What's up, everyone? God, a lot of people in here. YouTube must have decided to actually work today. It sent out notifications. Welcome, everyone. Let's do it. Did you say random rolls? Let me search.
What? What?
Wait, someone's saying that in chat. Let me check. Okay, well, nothing.
Don't get Jay-Z all excited.
Okay, wait. We'll read about it. Okay, here we go. Dude, I feel really weird. I had to lower my chair because my face cam's all off, but it just feels wrong. Okay, so, for everyone who doesn't know, what's up, Bacteria? What's up, Joshua? What's up, Blake? Duck? Everyone in chat, there's a ton of you guys. Welcome to The Last Word, episode, who the hell knows at this point?
73.
Really? Is that accurate?
No, it's not.
Okay. Oh, goodness, you were jeez, okay. Joined as always, that is my co-host, Jay-Z Basketball, bringing the jokes today, it turns out.
What's up? Yeah, I mean, it's a joke. It's close to April Fool's, right? So
it's close enough.
Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know, Bungie sat down yesterday, I think it was. Yeah, it was yesterday, and they did a Bungie bounty. But instead of, just assigning someone to go kill, they live streamed it. And between all of the games, they took viewer questions, and they, usually whenever they take viewer questions, they pick the easy balls. That's a really weird way of saying that. The low balls, the easy questions, they pick the ones that they're not going to piss people off with.
Let's go low-hanging fruit.
Low-hanging fruit. I like it. And so they usually pick the easy ones, but during this live stream, Deej was picking all of the most controversial topics, and I really like it. And we are going to go through and, they fully transcripted it here, and it actually looks like they're doing more stuff, which is pretty awesome. So we're going to talk about it, read all the transcripts and stuff. I did the video over some of them yesterday. There's even more here on it, so I'm pretty excited for that. So I guess we can just go ahead and start. So, I'm going to read the question, and then we're going to read the answer. All the answers are from Josh Hamrick, Deej, or Kevin... I forget his last name. Yanes, maybe? That sounds maybe about right. Kevin... Yeah, it is Yanes. Awesome. It's not Yanes. That's actually wrong. Yeah, how we doing, guys? Okay, here we go. The first question. In regards to time to kill, it's a pretty popular opinion within the community that the time to kill should be decreased. Do you have any plans on looking into this issue further? The sandbox update was called the Go Fast update. Will the next one be called Kill Fast? Thanks for listening. So this is actually one of the ones I covered in my video yesterday. Essentially, Josh Hamrick says, no, we're not directly attacking time to kill, but in the next, but in the next update, all weapons are going to be brought up to where the Vigilance Wings are now, or all the exotic weapons. So the Vigilance Wing has about a 0.9 optimal time to kill. I think it's 0.8 perfect, but it's like 0.9, 1.0. You're gonna hit most of all. That's pretty fast. Jay-Z, are you still there? You're being quiet.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, cool. So they're making all the exotic weapons, or they're trying to make them have a pretty fast time to kill, which is very exciting, and that will translate over to PvE as well, making these things good. So right now, in this last update, if you guys don't know, the average time to kill went from about 1.4 to 1.6. It's somewhere in there. That's what it was at vanilla. Now it's around like a 0.8 to a 1.2. It's somewhere in there. It's a lot faster. The average is a lot faster for sure. And with this update, they're going to be bringing the exotics up. And then once they bring the exotics up, then they're going to start fine-tuning. So right now, they want to make everything more powerful. But whenever they finally hit that, they seem to want to be averaging around a 0.8, 0.9 time to kill, and that's when they'll start nerfing and buffing different things and fine-tuning it rather than just like everything kills faster. So yeah, Will the Vigilance Wing be allowed to reign supreme in the Crucible, or will we see any fine-tuning in the near future? Exactly what I just said. They also mentioned that Cosmo is going to be showing off a couple more of these exotics as we get closer to 1.2.0 in May. So, Jay-Z, just to these, so I don't know how much of the Crucible you've played since the update. I'm guessing not too much, but 0.8 second time to kill versus, it's almost twice as fast. I wouldn't... That's on average. Obviously, that's going to be including the pulse rifles, the adaptive frame pulse rifles, which now kill in 3 bursts, extremely fast. Vigilance Wing, which if you hit all headshots can kill in 2 bursts. All the the plethora of shotguns and stuff that are now flooding the Crucible. I mean, it is much faster with movement, with your supers coming back more quickly and all this. It feels a lot more like Destiny 1. So. The question I'm posing, do you think 0.8 is too fast, or do you think it's too slow? Do you think it's just right? What do you think?
So here are my thoughts. When I first started, I played probably 4 or 5, maybe 6 games of Crucible last week, and I liked the speed increases. I really enjoyed it, but the time to kill was like at first when Bungie made the announcement that the time to kill was going up for Destiny 2, I was super pumped. It was going to be closer to Halo, which I loved, Halo, because it took more skill to get a kill than say your Call of Duties or whatever. But when I was playing Crucible last week, I would get the jump on somebody and I'd get like 2 bursts into them and then they'd be able to run away. And so it was harder to actually get the kills because of the speed.
Right.
So I think that'll be better because you're going to have to react a little bit faster to run away if you're going to run away, and you're going to have to decide pretty early in the engagement if you're going to stay in it or not, basically. So I like that change. I think at first I wasn't going to, but now playing some Crucible last week, it's definitely for the better as far as if they're going to make your player movement faster.
Exactly. And I think this actually makes it more competitive. I think one thing that the faster time to kill and the more quickly killing things, as well as the increased movement speed, I think if anything, it increased the skill gap a lot. I noticed very quickly, especially in Rumble, there's a much larger divide. Even though these lower skill players can get shotgun and crush that the entire game, it's very easy with the new movement, with the faster killing weapons, to outmaneuver them.
Yes.
and to get that. And I think I didn't play any trials. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that. I already have everything for Season 2 trials. There's literally no reason I would go back in there until Season 3. So I'm not sure how that panned out. But with things like the competitive without a radar, it feels really good. You mow through bad teams. Good teams, you actually have to try, but it's not like an annoyance kind of thing. Everything feels very good. I was rocking the freaking old-fashioned, which is a hand cannon I detested in vanilla. It's now probably my favorite kinetic weapon at the moment. It's very, very good.
Did you try Better Devils? And
okay, so embarrassing story about the Better Devils. I have deleted 12 Better Devils because I hated hand cannons, and I have yet to get another one, even though I put
goodness.
like 20 hours into Crucible since the update came out. So I'm still grinding. Hopefully I get one. Better Devils and the Old Fashioned actually have the same archetype. So the only thing the Better Devils has is the explosive rounds, which could definitely help a lot.
So do you agree with me that I know that you said that it actually heightens the skill gap. Did you have that happen where people were able to get away from you because of the new speed?
So I had a couple people, like I think it'd be pretty silly to say, no one ran away from me kind of thing. I think for the most part, it wasn't as bad because traditionally the only people to run away from me and me actually notice was going to be Night Stalkers. And with them nerfing, aim assist, you still get aim assist while they're invisible now. That made it a lot more bearable, and I wasn't getting as pissed off when people went invis. And that's the thing. I have no problem. If I'm shooting someone, they run around a corner, I'm just going to jump around the corner and kill them in midair, because they'll never see that coming. I don't know why no one ever sees that coming, but no one ever does. Like I said, I can't say that no one ran away from me, because I'm sure people did, but it wasn't pronounced. It was almost like it was almost a point of relief where I was like, oh, there's a Night Stalker. I'm going to go teabag his corpse because I know I'm going to win this fight kind of thing. So
yeah, I guess that differs to our play styles because I'm more of a medium to long range player and you're more of a close range to medium range player. So that's probably why I notice it a little bit more of people being able to run away using the extra speed that they have.
Right. Yeah. I think it's manageable. Hunters definitely got kind of dicked. Warlock, Dawnblade Warlocks in their super can run faster or burst glide faster than a full speed 160 Sparrow. It is gross, but it's awesome. That's something. I think more of this update wasn't people running away from me. It was me trying to run away from these freaking Dawnblades flying around, man.
So and I'm anxious to actually use that in PvE because that was one of the things. Like, I wanted to be able to use a different Warlock class in PvE, and that might give me incentive to actually use this class in PvE to be able to move a little bit faster in certain points of time. Because there are a lot of times where I don't use, because like especially on Eater of Worlds when I'm carrying the skulls, I'm not using my super as a Warlock very often.
Right.
So that might give me an incentive to pop it and be able to get to a skull faster, or
it's ridiculously fast. It's gross. And well, I mean, even Warlocks. I think Warlocks got the most significant mobility updates. If you're rocking 10 mobility, your burst glide. I mean, you're flying. It's pretty good. Titan skating's back. It's not as good as it was in Destiny 1. It's still very fast. Hunters are definitely not about raw speed. They're more about, maneuverability, being able to control. So while a Titan won't be able to kind of deke someone out and jump over him and all that kind of stuff, that's where Hunters shine for sure.
Would you rather have Titan skating back to what Destiny 1 levels?
Not with the size of maps we have now. I think the speed to map size ratio is it felt like it was the same, especially with there being 8 people in Rumble now. That's ridiculous. Okay, we'll talk about that. Rumble it's awesome.
I'm just wondering with the time to kill it shouldn't affect grenades though, right? So it's still going to be 2 grenades for a death.
Depends what grenades. Yeah.
Because I don't want sticky grenades to come back.
I think sticky grenades are even a 3-shot. I don't think they're even 2. I could be wrong, but yeah, they're not. They didn't do anything with that. Grenades are how they were before the update. They're the same. So, are you still here? Oh, Jay-Z died. Okay, well, we're gonna keep going. When will we get this stream for Expansion 2 in Season 3? Liking the Go Fast update so far, excited to see what's next. Deesh replies, we will be back on stream later this month to talk about the next content updates for Destiny 2. We'll show you where you're going next, who you'll meet to get there, or who you'll meet when you get there, and how you'll share your activities with your friends, and what you'll be able to chase in the Crucible to prove your prowess. So we have that kind of stuff coming. Oh, Jay-Z's back. Cool.
Can you hear me? Good.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's see. Sticky grenades are still OP. I wouldn't say that. I'm pretty sure sticky grenades are a 3-shot kill. It's really not that bad.
Even as a 2-shot kill, it's way better than just 2 sticky grenades and running around the map and sticking. Yeah.
Arlo and Jerry, they like the Destiny 1 time to kill better. I actually with this new update, I think my problem with the Destiny 1 time to kill, it was almost like, if you go back and watch clips of the Clever Dragon, it's Call of Duty fast. It's honestly disgusting. And I think where it is right now, sitting just above that, gives you enough time to, get shot a couple times and then react to it, while still allowing you to get double, triple, quadruple kills if you're fast and if you can outmaneuver people. I think it's pretty good. I'll have to sit on it a little bit. Obviously we haven't gotten the exotic update yet. We don't know what exotics they're bringing with Expansion 2. It's a lot of stuff to look forward to, but I think right now I like this a little bit better. Just because I think one of the most annoying things in the world is making a tiny mistake and then getting hugely punished for it.
Yes.
If I run out in a corner, I get shot a couple of times, maybe I shouldn't die every time. That's that kind of thing, so...
well, that was the thing in Destiny 1 and what made a lot of Destiny 1 fun, and obviously I didn't do this much other, but you could go on kill streaks and take on, you know, 2 people at a time, and you haven't been able to really do that in Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So this might bring that back to where it's fun to watch, it's more fun to play, and you have chances in firefights rather than if you're facing 2 people as a single person, you're done. You know?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, continuing on, like, I agree with all that. I could talk about this kind of stuff all day, the skill gap and where we should go with that. But honestly, we should let the devs do the talking because they answered a lot more questions about that. So we were just talking about, Jay-Z, while you lagged out, they're going to be showing off DLC 2 later this month, which is pretty cool. I fully expect to get a launch trailer Monday, in fact. I think it's usually 36 days before the launch on a Monday. And Monday will be 36 days until maybe, I think 15th or 16th, one of those two. I know how to count numbers, it's all right.
Yeah, numbers are
hard. Okay, the next question. I'd like to know which elements of the recent and future updates the team have enjoyed working on the most. Kevin Yanni's answered this one. With seasonal Crucible ranks where we're looking to serve many goals. Oh, by the way, these are condensed answers. He actually had a thing saying like he was really excited about this. So if some of the answers seem like they're dodging the questions, that's because whoever edited this, Cosmo or DMG, they just cut off the fat and they just want the good answers. Anyways, Kevin's answer, most important to players like me, something to chase or something to set goals for every season. There's a reason to play and there's a reason to perform in the Crucible. You will earn unique rewards for things like time commitment and performance in the Crucible, and I'll be back on a future stream to talk more about the ranking system, Valor, and Glory, which come with 1.2.0, and that makes it sound like the best players will actually have access to exclusive stuff. And please, Bungie, don't just make it a ghost. Please, for the love of Mother Chicken.
Or a Sparrow.
Or a Sparrow, or a ship. Maybe give us some guns, you know? Let's do it. I'd be cool with armor. Maybe give people who get up there in Crucible some guns. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, if people remember, and I keep harkening back to Destiny days, even though it wasn't armor, it was, you know, something called recon armor, if you remember that. I don't know if you were around playing games at that time, but it was a very rare armor set. And I believe you had to face Bungie developers, but I mean, it was like, and I think you had to beat them. I can't remember exactly how you got it, but it was very, very rare.
What game is this?
I think it was Halo 3, I want to say.
Okay, maybe. Here, just real quick, can you move the mic just a little bit back? I'm hitting the audio threshold.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect.
Okay,
good.
Sorry. But yeah, but it was only there for people that like put in the time and like you played a lot. Like, yeah, you could get lucky and get it, you know, every once in a while, but it was only for the players that put in the time, and you played a lot. And I think I'm okay with them adding something that maybe I can't, you know, get in the game. Like, add those unique rewards, because then it'll push people to play it more and to enjoy it. So
exactly, and that kind of goes into Josh Wilson's comment in chat. Bungie needs to take some steps back and see what made Halo successful. So I sort of agree with that. I sort of don't. It definitely applies to what you're saying. I feel like in the Halo days, they were much more adventurous with stuff like that. They were fine. If not everyone could get something, they would do it. You know, you had more of the secrets like the skulls that you could get in campaign. That could translate very well over to, you know, dead ghosts and such in the main story missions of Destiny 2. Where I don't think that applies is Halo was forming at a time where video games weren't necessarily socially accepted. It was, I mean, and in addition to that, it's a very different game. For all intents and purposes, Destiny's like a nearly open world looter shooter. Halo was more just of a first-person shooter. There wasn't really an open world. It was more Call of Duty-esque with slower times to kill, that kind of thing. So I definitely think they need... Not that Bungie's not being ambitious. I love pretty much everything that they've shown us in the last 2, 3, 4 months has been pretty much perfect. They're definitely being ambitious, but I feel like with Halo, maybe because it was a less popular game, they weren't as afraid to upset people. And I think there definitely needs to be a kind of skill gap and rewards on on the upper side of that, I think is something that's very important. Yeah,
I mean, Halo 2 and 3 set records though for launch.
But
at the time.
like, yeah, they did. But once again, like, I'm sure it was like 1 million tops, maybe 2, right? That was a very. I mean, Halo 2 came out how many years ago?
2004.
Oh, well, I was googling it. Did you get it? Yeah,
November 2000. Yeah, November 2004.
There you go. So I mean, 14 years ago, right? The game that's 3/4 of my life ago. It's like So I get that they were popular, but they were popular in a much different world. You know, we didn't have Twitch, we didn't have YouTube. There were no ninjas of the world, people with quite literally millions of followers. You know, there weren't billion-dollar video game competitions going on every month. Video games were very much kind of the black sheep of the media kind of thing. And I think right now the problem is whenever you have so much focus on a game, especially when Luke Smith and the team, their initial focus was let's get as many casuals as possible to play this, adding skill gap stuff doesn't exactly translate well over that. But now that we have Christopher Barrett and they're doing all this stuff, like Valor and Glory, the Crucible ranks and all this stuff that they're going for and more high-end rewards, Nightfall exclusive stuff, and this, you know, stuff that not every player is going to get, I do think we'll see the more ambitious side of Bungie come back. You know, the side of Bungie that made all the Age of Triumph armor. You know, not everyone's going to get that. I guarantee like 1/10 of the player base maybe got a full armor set. But that's what I like out of this game. And I'm very excited to see Bungie return to form with that one. Yeah. All right. Next question. I really wish the Destiny 2 weapon system returns to the primary, special, and heavy system. It was better than the current one. Is my wish reasonable? Josh Hamrick says, we know that you want more control over your loadouts. You can expect weapon slot changes in the future of Destiny 2. We are actively working on a new system right now, and we will have more to show until this summer. So that's, like I said, that's a condensed answer. What Josh really said is, yes, your wish is reasonable. We are working on something. I can't talk about it right now, but we are currently working on it right now, and we hope that it's going to be better than the Destiny 1 and the Destiny 2 system. So because they said that, a lot of people were like, they're adding a 4th weapon slot. I don't think so, because on controllers, there is no good way to access a 4th weapon slot, especially not fast. It's just not a good idea. I don't think it would flow well. And he directly said that they're not going back to the Destiny 1 weapon slot either, which is good because at this point, I don't think all the weapons are balanced around having 2 primaries. It would be a disaster, I think. I don't think it would go over well at all. In my opinion, I imagine they're going to try to do something to fit snipers and shotguns back in the elemental slot, whether that be make less powerful variants or something. Like, honestly, I don't envy Bungie's position right now. Anything they do is going to piss a lot of people off. This is why I've been saying for a very long time, I didn't think they were going to make any changes in Destiny 2. Like, that's not only is that a very kind of weird situation to be in because they have so many people to please and so many different groups of people, that's a huge development undertaking as well because they have to design the UI, they have to put weapons in that slot regardless of what it is, they have to separate, they have to tune, they have to make all the encounters to that. Like, that's a lot of stuff to do, and I thought for sure they're just going to leave Destiny 2 like it is. In Destiny 3, if they're changing it up, they'll just build it from the ground up with those changes in mind. But obviously I was wrong. So I'm excited. If they're talking about it this summer, D said that they're going to be putting it on the roadmap next week. If they're talking about it this summer, I expect to fully see these changes with the fall DLC, honestly. So
yeah, I mean, that's probably the target point for them.
And okay, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but this is Blake Bit just has a comment that a lot of people have said. He said, "Oh, you can double tap Y," and I get that sounds like a good idea in practice, and I get it, but there's a lot of problems with that. It comes from a personal thing, because if you guys have ever watched my live streams, you know whenever I'm bored and I'm waiting around a corner or I'm waiting for something, double tap Y, and that's my thing. Primary, secondary, and just to see the hand animation, it's kind of like a shaking of the leg, fidget spinner thing. I just double tap Y, and that's like my mental tick to kind of kill time. So that would destroy that for me, and that's not something I would be very happy with. B, I know for a fact when I switch back from heavy, and I'm not sure what gun I'm running. And I think it's gonna pull out my secondary, so I hit Y really quickly, and then I notice like, oh, I already had my primary out. I hit it again, so it translates to me pulling out my secondary, starting to put it away, pulling it back out. That would interfere with that too. So if you made any mistakes about what weapon you currently have out, then you're all of a sudden holding another weapon that you didn't want. So I don't think that would work. It would work on a keyboard, on you just hit the 4 button. Like that makes sense. On a controller, I think it'd be pretty hard to translate over to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what game has that. 'Cause I know there's a game I've played that has that system in it, where it's the double tap Y for a different type. Maybe it was a heavy weapon at that point in time instead of holding Y.
Yeah.
I can't remember though. But
yeah.
it can work, and I know you would adjust to it, but yeah.
I think it would make the game all around more clunky. The thing with the heavy weapon, you have to deliberately pull it out.
Yes.
I think adding a 4th weapon slot in general, whenever you add more weapons like that, adding an entirely new system, I think it only works to make the game more clunky. I don't think at all that would help make gameplay more smooth.
Well, and aesthetically, where would you hide the magic space weapon on your character? 4th weapon.
You just tuck it into your helmet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That magic, like the Legend of Zelda magical pouch where it shrunk everything down. Yeah, I got you.
Oh, goodness. Jerry, maybe there could be more powerful and less powerful fusion snipers and shotguns. So that's what I was kind of saying. I just, once again, I don't know. I don't know. I can't see that working very well. Because the thing about snipers in Destiny 1 was that they were powerful. That was your DPS on bosses, for the most part, was your sniper. Yeah. And so if you put a less powerful version of the sniper in the elemental slot, then it's not fulfilling that fantasy. Excuse me. But if you put powerful snipers in the elemental slot, then you're too overpowered. And then in Crucible, you all of a sudden have 2 power weapons. Like I think it would be a mess, in my opinion.
I agree.
I don't know, man. It just. Whew.
I mean, I'm happy with the way the weapon system is. I know a lot of people don't like it, but
yeah,
a
D-pad to switch weapons. We use our D-pad for emotes, so probably not.
Yeah, because then you'd have to hold like LB and hit the D-pad.
Plus. I don't know. I get the enthusiasm. I don't think a 4th weapon slot is where we're going, but I guess we'll find out, man. I guess we'll find out. What is the exact design philosophy that lets you determine when a balance change is good? What testing procedures do you follow in order to implement a change? I think people in general want to know why some of the changes seem to take so long compared to other titles. This is a really good question. I did not read this previous to that. That's a fantastic question. Josh Hamrick. At any given moment, we are working on numerous sandbox updates that follow the same pipeline. First, we set the goals that we want to accomplish with any given update. For example, the purpose of 1.1.4 was to directly affect the pace of combat and allow for more powerful and heroic moments. In Season 3, we will be delivering a round of exotic weapon tunings intended to make them feel more exotic. With our goals defined, we make the changes, playtest, and iterate for as long as we can. Destiny is a huge game with tons of different areas that may be affected in different ways, positive or negative, from any given change we may make. Our test team also plays them with us and helps us hunt for anything we may have broken. Finally, those changes have to get packaged up into an update and certify those builds with each of our platforms before they finally roll out to you. Kevin Yanes, it's all priority. We have many releases, but we have a finite number of people on the team. For us, it's all about prioritizing what we can get done and when we can get it done. So in some cases, like weapon slots, that's going to take a long time. The bigger the change, the more focus and people are required to get it shipped. So this is something I've definitely been kind of an advocate of for a while. One of my, recently, a kind of annoyance I have developed is when people are like, look at Fortnite, they pump out weapon tuning stuff weekly. My counter to that is look at Fortnite. They fuck something up every single update, and like in a bad way. Right now, there's a glitch where if you double tap Y, you quite literally cannot shoot your weapon unless you double tap Y again. It's pretty broken.
Yeah, but Fortnite's only one specific mode.
That's the next thing I was going to. So not only does Fortnite break a lot, which full respect to Epic, they're a smaller studio, I get it. Yeah, like Jay-Z was saying, Fortnite has one. It is Battle Royale. They're Save the World, but they're balanced completely differently. And that is it. Destiny, if you change a weapon in Crucible, it gets changed in raids. It gets changed in public events. It gets changed in Nightfalls. It gets changed in everything. Destiny is a very, very large game. Fortnite is like 20 millibytes. Like, it's pretty, not really, but it's a very small scoped game. So, they have to be careful. I would much rather updates take a little bit longer and the game isn't just destroyed on release, rather than the other way around, in my opinion. Yeah.
I'm willing to wait if they get it right, rather than push something out just to appease everybody and it's broken.
Yeah. Any plans for the development team to get more directly involved with community feedback, whether that be responding to feedback, making dev posts detailing game decisions and why they were made, might be exciting for the community to get a more intimate look. D says, on the community team, we are always looking for new ways to get designers socializing with players. Moments like the Bungie bounty are a good chance to swap some chatter. You can expect to see them quoted on the blog whenever their work is in place, where they can go on record. Hey, that's what we're reading right now. Last week, we sat Josh down to talk with us about his motivations for 1.1.4. We also help you find them online so you can follow their dialogue about their day-to-day. And then in addition to that, they just invited all of those content creators. Unfortunately, I did not get invited, but a lot of amazing people that do the same thing that I do, which is not constantly bashing the game, but looking at it from a very constructive viewpoint and encouraging others to do the same. Dado, Triple Wreck, all these people that got invited for the most part. I'm very happy that they get to go make commentary on the game, play some future stuff, see how it plays, because I know that their decisions and in the end their criticism isn't going to be, oh, the division's better. They actually want the game to succeed. So that kind of plays into that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. And for the most part, I mean, Jay-Z, it's easy to say that Bungie doesn't communicate with us, but not really. But it kind of is. I see where people come from sometimes. But compared to Destiny 1, like, we've gotten more information from Bungie in the past, like, week than we did in the entirety of Destiny 1. Like, do you remember in the drought between the Taken King and the Rise of Iron, just nothing.
Yeah.
For 4 months.
It was all speculation. Like, are they gonna drop some kind of free update? What are they gonna do? Yeah. Yeah. I remember that.
That was brutal, man. That was
well, I mean, we didn't even have any clue. Was it E3 that they announced Rise of Iron? We didn't even know if there was going to be another.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because you're right. We didn't know. Well, that's right, because we didn't know. And then the Snapchat advertisement leaked the day before E3. And everyone was like, there's going to be another update. And I was like, no, there's not. There's no way. Yeah, because Destiny 2 was supposed to come out then. That was by far the worst period in Destiny history. There was no communication. Crucible was broken. It was bad. There was no content for pretty much a year. It was pretty bad. Yeah. Blake Bit says, "What the hell? They should have invited you." Hey, keep in mind, I am a smaller content creator. Nearly 14,000 subs. That's not a lot. I totally get it. Honestly, they probably wouldn't get a return on their investment based on my active community size and them paying for my hotel and playing and all that. I totally get it. But if you would like for me to be invited to future ones, share a channel with your friends. Shameless plug. Woots. It really comes down to that. I mean, is Bungie gonna spend $500, $600 flying me out there, or, you know, so I can appeal to 14,000 people, or Datto, where you can appeal to 800,000 people. Like, it makes a lot of sense. It really does. So I'm not mad. I totally understand it. I'm very jealous. Don't get me wrong. I would skip so many weeks of school to go to that. Don't get me wrong. It would be awesome for the channel and stuff, but I totally get it. I'm fine with it. And like I said, all the people, for the most part, I'd say like 90% of the people that I've seen confirmed to go, I'm very happy with. I would say that they're good community leaders, and I know their feedback is going to be sound. So I'm pretty happy with it. Question. When can you tell us about your solutions for the loot system? Like random rules, perks/mods, depth to weapon and armor, and stuff like that. Josh, I'm no investment designer, but I can tell you that we as a team know that you want more reasons to play. We know that you want to be excited about the possibility of any given drop again. We know that you're looking forward to hopping on night after night for a shot at something you want to get your hands on, and that you look forward to the adrenaline rush when it finally happens. We're actively working to get there together. We'll talk more about our plans when they're in a playable state that we think is stable. Jay-Z, that sounds like random rolls are coming back, my friend.
That would give me reason to play every night.
I mean, if that wasn't a very thinly way of saying, yeah, we're working on random rolls, I don't know what is, okay? That was pretty good.
Well, they kind of, I mean, I understand their philosophy behind what they did with Destiny 2, but like I think they're slowly realizing that that was a mistake, and they need to go back to giving people like literally you'd be excited when you got a gun that you could get a really good roll on, and then you didn't even know what the roll was until you went in your inventory and looked at it. Then you either like, oh, or you were like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So
yeah,
it's great to, if that's what they're doing, to be able to have that feeling again to where things matter.
like I said, I mean, that's pretty much gotta be it. I don't know why that wouldn't be it. And I think, once again, the random rules thing came down to appealing to more casual audience. If Bungie ever made a mistake like that again, I would be dumbfounded. But there's no way they will. Destiny 3, I imagine, will have random rules and whatever. It'll have everything they fix here. The thing where at the end of Destiny 1, we had fixed so many problems, and then we jumped into Destiny 2 where only like half of those fixes were in it. Like, if that happens with Destiny 3, I mean, it just won't. Like, there's no way they'll do that again. There's no way. Question. Are there any set plans to introduce new elements, classes, subclasses, or weapon types into the game in the near future? Josh says, yes to some of those. From my desk right now, I can look around and see new hotness on several people's screens. We'll be showing off a lot of this stuff in the months to come. Okay, what I will say, he says yes to some of those, so it's at least 2. Weapon types, we're definitely going to be getting new weapon types, I think. I don't ever see new classes coming to the game, and so I've got to say, it sounds like we're getting some new subclasses in September. Maybe. I mean, but for the most part, I'm
okay with that.
Yeah, for the most part, people expected that. I'm okay with it as long as they explain it in a good way. Like, I don't want us to wake up and be like, oh, these subclasses exist now, whatever.
Yeah. Like the Matrix, where you're like, oh, I know Kung Fu now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing goes for new elements. I'm fine with them implementing a 4th element. A couple of things would have to be explained. One, Destiny has always been about 3s. 3 classes, 3 elements currently, 3 everything. Destiny's always been about 3s. So breaking that off would be kind of weird. It would, like I said, it would have to be explained in a very good way, and I swear to God, if there's a darkness subclass, I'm going to drive to Bungie and aggressively hug them until they die in a very nice way. I don't want to get...
I don't know if that was negative or positive.
It was supposed to be negative, but I realized that I love Bungie.
Hugs can be taken as a positive thing. I'm going to aggressively hug you.
Arlo, Skarrow, way to have 4 slots, having set A and set B. Set A is kinetic and energy, and when you switch between them by pressing Y. Set B is special and heavy. You switch between A and B by holding Y. Please respond. Once again, that just seems like so much work. Why? Why would you... Like, I like it. if they would do that, that's honestly probably the best system. But it would be so easy to get confused between the two, honestly. And Jay-Z's right. Where the hell would you put the guns? It's already unbelievable to think that our Guardian has 3 guns. You know? Like, I don't know. Nothing needs to be explained, says Annan. I disagree. I think one of Destiny's very, very strong points is the lore it has established for itself. And I think that if you don't stay canonical, you are destroying one of the pillars of Destiny. You know, people always say Destiny has no story, blah, blah, blah. I call those people dumb. Okay, you're dumb if you think Destiny has no story, because you've obviously never read any flavor text, lore on a gun, grimoire, paid attention to any of the missions you've ever done. Destiny has an amazingly fleshed out universe. You want to see a game with no story? Go play Borderlands 1 and then tell me Destiny has no story. Okay.
Or like, this isn't Saints Row or Grand Theft Auto. Like,
yeah, for real.
And do whatever you want. Like, they have to abide by the laws of the universe that they created. And yeah, they have changed them or stretched them, but you still want to keep it within the defined boundaries that you set.
Exactly.
With your lore.
Exactly. Okay. How did the Crucible team decide on random game modes instead of letting players choose what mode they want to play like we did in Destiny 1? Kevin, the biggest driver of this conversation was trying to improve matchmaking times and connection quality. In addition, it allows us to supply certain moods. As you've seen with 1.1.4, we've reinforced these moods. Quick Play is now delivering the 4v4 low intensity that we intended for that playlist. Competitive is now driving further that 4v4 high intensity. The biggest driver is connection quality and connection times. More people in the pool means more good connections. In May, private matches are coming at any point when you want to get a game of Control together, you can do that. In terms of players asking, make Rumble permanent, we've absolutely heard that feedback. To be more specific, we've heard it, we've understood it, and we'll have conversations every day since the launch of 1.1.4 about that. Hopefully we'll have more to say soon. Sounds like they're going to... So, I still don't agree. I get the connection thing. I really do. I don't like... If I want to play Control, I sure as hell don't want to play Supremacy. You know, I get it. I sympathize with it, but it's still, in a perfect world, it wouldn't be there. You know.
Oh, I completely agree. Like, I don't want to play Supremacy 99% of the time. Like, it was nice when it first came out and you kind of got a taste of all the game modes, like you were forced into it. But now we're at the point where people want to choose what they want. They're doing everything else to, you know, make the player base happy. Why can't we pick what game mode we want to play? I can't remember a first-person shooter that didn't allow you to pick what game mode that you wanted to play.
Yeah, it seems really weird. I feel like this decision was made when they didn't think Destiny 2 was going to be very popular. And then as a result of not being able to choose your game mode, Crucible lost even more player base. So I feel like it was sound at first, it wasn't addressed right away, and as a result, it ended up as more of them shooting themselves in the foot than anything else. Like I said, probably won't be... I can see this mistake being made in Destiny 3 again, because they're standing behind it. Like I said, I totally get it. I just don't know if it's the best thing. And as Sci-Fireman pointed out in chat, private chats are... Excuse me, I can talk. Private matches are necessary for a competition side. I absolutely agree with this update. With private matches, I would not be surprised if we at least got game battles. You know, I hope more esports come to it, but we'll have to see. I think Destiny 2 has a lot of potential, especially with the new updates and with continued fine tuning and stuff. Theseus, are you interested in Destiny's lore? I mean, do you know the stories and all the deep lore stuff? Yeah. I don't make videos a lot on it, but yeah, I'd say I know a good 90% of the lore. I don't read a lot of the flavor text, admittedly, but I know a lot of it. I don't know how we got from Crucible to that, but welcome to Skarrow's stream. 2 more questions. 1, are you looking back at Destiny 1 for inspiration, or are you trying to find a new way forward? What do you currently consider to be a high priority for PvE and PvP? Any hints for random rules or special slot Pretty please. Josh, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 are two unique and helpful data points. Neither game is perfect. Both have plenty of room for improvement. Thank you, Josh. You're my friend. It's hugely helpful to be able to directly compare and contrast the two and see what worked and what didn't. Ultimately, the goal is just to make Destiny 2 the best Destiny we've ever made. This is why I have so much respect for the developers. It's hard to look at something you have created and say it's not perfect. It's far from perfect. We have room. Josh, right here in this sentence, not only took the misconception that Destiny 1 was perfect and pushed it out the window, he accepted that Destiny 2 is not perfect, and he analyzed it in a very a good metaphor, which I really like. They're two unique and helpful data points. I think that's a very great way of looking at it. And I don't know, man. That's why I have so much respect for the Bungie team, because this right here, I'm very excited to hear what they decide is the best of Destiny 1 and best of Destiny 2. Yeah. Okay, last question, Jay-Z. Why can't the mobility stat increase sprint speed? I'm a hunter. I need to ninja. Okay, I would like for it to increase mobility or sprint speed, but I'll be interested to see what Josh says. Our goal with 1.1.4 was to get more back to a Destiny 1 style of movement, especially the movement you're working with mid-combat. Sprint speeds were not changed for Destiny 2, and therefore it wasn't crazy high priority to hit those. That being said, we called it the Go Fast update for a reason. That was absolutely one of the potential changes to test with on our list. As we dug into making changes to it, we ran into some technical changes that kept it from being possible to get up in time to test with. It's something we'll have to continue to consider in the future, though. What I can tell you is we buff standard movement quite a bit. Fun fact, any mobility value over 5 in 1.1.4 is faster than max mobility base speed values in Destiny 1. We've also returned air acceleration back to its Destiny 1 values as well. That's the end of it as well. I mean, that's not bad. I'm glad that it was more of a technological limit. Yeah, did you see... Okay, so Jay-Z, this is something you'd be really interested in, I think, being a computer science major and all this. You know the raid glitch where people would just die, right? Mm-hmm. And then no one could respawn, and it was related to the glitch where all the doors were open, no enemies would spawn. They explained it and how they're going to fix it. They did a whole post on it. Very interesting stuff. Did you read it? Did you see it?
No, I didn't. No.
I'll send you the link, but essentially it came down to, it was a result of the cinematic at the beginning of the raid. And I don't know how those things are related.
From the very beginning to all the way to...
Yeah, you flying in caused all of those things. And it's, I mean, there's some more technical stuff. I read it like 3 weeks ago. But I'll send you the link after this. It's a really good read. I really like when Bungie sits down and they're like, look, this is wrong. Sort of what they did with sniper rifles. They were like, we can't exactly fix the flinch on sniper rifles because there's a model in the art that makes it wrong for all the sniper rifles. So we have to go back in and redesign all of them. That's really cool to me. As someone who is personally really interested in the behind the scenes of all of this, I find that really awesome. I wish they would do that a lot more. So that's something. Is it for you, Jay-Z? Is it more like needless information, or do you find it interesting as well?
I really find it interesting, especially with this, like them explaining that, like they need to be more upfront and clear because they had told us that this would affect sprint. I'm going back to this last question. Mm-hmm. That would affect sprint speed, and now they're saying it doesn't, but this is why, and we're looking into it. Because, like, ultimately, if you're going to make a pseudo RPG, you want your stats to affect what they're supposed to affect and not just be like, well, it gives you a little bit extra walking speed. So I like that they're being more clairvoyant with their responses. I like that they're telling us when they plan on doing something and why they didn't do it when they didn't do it, mm-hmm. And that they're still working on it. So I do enjoy those. I mean, your average person reading it's not going to care. Like, oh great, we can't get sprint speed up by maxing mobility now, but maybe in the future at some time. But
right,
I'm always interested in learning and growing. So I guess that's part of the like them giving us more information.
Agreed. I like to know why, how, when, and that's definitely a big part of that. I agree. And like I said, I just find it fascinating. It's really cool. It's like I learned the other day. This is kind of a weird thing, but I learned in every Bethesda game, any type of moving vehicle, they use trains as an example, is not its own thing. It's actually just a headpiece put on an NPC. And so they showed a train in Fallout 4, and it's quite literally a guy running underneath the ground, and his head is just a giant tram. And that's so hilarious. Like it's like video games are held together by like really bad Walgreens brand super glue, and we just can't tell on the surface. That's so cool to me.
Well, I think this, going back to your average player, they think that you can just flip a switch and it does X, Y, and Z.
Exactly. That's why I get really pissed off with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because like they have to test it and retest it and then test everything that could possibly interact with, and then that's not even everything that they could possibly test. And then we find like the super jumps in Halo 2, or secret areas that you can jump to that you're not supposed to. And that's all playtesting, and that's caused by X number of things that could possibly go wrong during development. So it's not that easy, especially with modern video games, of just flipping a switch and it's fixed.
Blakebit says, Scarrow, we need mid-air accuracy back. Oh, I completely agree with this. I'm not even going to read the rest of your comment because I totally agree. That is one thing. In Destiny 1, you could hit shots in midair, no problem. In Destiny 2, it seems like an RNG type of thing. Like, I will have my sights on that guy's face, and it will hit his mother's face 2 planets away. It's very annoying. I totally agree with that, Blake. So that's something I think I hope to see in the future. They did increase it a little bit with hand cannons and stuff, but I 100% agree with you, man. PHV Alex says, I don't think Bungie should change the time to kill. I really like the way it is now. I agree with that. But like I said, I have to play with it a little bit more. I think it'll be a lot easier to tell with 1.2.0, with the exotic update, seeing what happens there. Yeah, so that is all the questions. A lot of awesome stuff coming. Very excited for that. The next thing is, the next segment is 1.1.4 retrospective weekly Crucible playlists. And I guess they're going to go over that. So let's go ahead and read it. Just an intro. For the first time, Rumble served up some 8-player free-for-all combat where players had to watch their own backs because no one else would. Monitoring feedback throughout the week, we noted that quite a few players reported that the mode felt a bit crowded. We tracked down Derek Carroll to give us some details on the goals of the weekly Crucible playlist and what we can expect moving forward. Good. Derek Carroll says, with a week's worth of update 1.1.4 in the wild, the PvP team can take a step back and see how we did. One thing that we like about the new rotating weekly playlist is that it gives us the ability to add things and make changes without shaking up the core of the Crucible. We'll be using that playlist to try out new modes and events in the future. Good! This is one thing. Fortnite does this really well. Limited time modes that are just wacky. I think with the prospect of prestige loadouts, raids on the future, this means that Bungie does have the ability to restrict access to an activity if we're not using some certain type of gun. Meaning that in Crucible, we could have shotgun-only modes. We could have primary-only modes. This is something I would really like to see in the future. More fun, random, exciting game modes. And this is the way that they would do it. I'm very happy that they addressed that. Anyways, he continues, Rumble came to Destiny 2 in a big way, and depending on your taste, you may have found it too big. We tend to agree, so the next time Rumble rolls around, you will find it a bit more, you will find a bit more room to breathe. I can talk, that's a very hard sentence. We are lowering the player count to 6 and altering the spawning policy behind the scenes in an attempt to keep players more evenly spaced out. These changes are the first steps toward an even better player experience that we expect to drop when Season 3 begins. That's insane. The fact that they were able to make these changes, so that's a 3-week separation. Rumble just ended on Tuesday. They're bringing it back 2 weeks from Tuesday. That's a 2-week separation, and they are already making huge changes, as in 1/4 of the players are no longer in that game, and the spawning is different now. That's pretty cool. You know, what do you think, Jay-Z?
Yeah, I didn't understand the decision to put 8 players in there to begin with.
Did you play any of it?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
because I knew it was going to be a cluster just from the amount of players on the small maps.
So as a person who hates sitting still, as a very energetic, fast play, you know, I like to rush things in the face, right? It was fun. It was hectic. There were definitely times I got spawn kills. There were spawn killed. There were even more times where I spawn trapped the hell out of people. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun. It was pretty fun. 6-player rumble. I'm fine with that though. And this shows a voice crack, a sexy voice crack. This shows that, goddamn, it happened again. This shows, okay, that they are actively monitoring our feedback and they are invested in fixing it. This is a great step. We were just talking about why it takes so long to fix things. If they can turn this around, that is a huge step in the right direction. I'm very excited for that. And it looks like a week from Tuesday, I'm going to be playing a lot of Rumble. Okay, Iron Banner's next appearance is an exciting one for us. That's on Tuesday, by the way. In conjunction with these sandbox tweaks, we've made changes to the version of control you have been playing in Destiny 2 to increase intensity and give players more choices during gameplay. Right off the bat, you'll see that there are no zones held by either team at match start. With 6 players on each team, you'll have more flexibility to decide your opening moves. Once you're capturing, you'll notice that the more players you have, up to 3 in a zone, the faster it switches sides. There's risk and reward here, as supers are more prevalent in version 1.1.4, and you don't want to get caught with all your eggs in one basket. If you participate in a capture, you'll get more super energy yourself, so grabbing zones is a great way to power up for your next big play. Until Iron Banner is lit next week, please enjoy the utter chaos of mayhem, now with 25% more super powered insanity. I'm very excited for Iron Banner. I'll definitely be doing a mayhem stream probably tomorrow, maybe Saturday. All around, Crucible feels freaking awesome right now. I've said this a lot, and every time I say it, I kind of question it myself. But like, my gut reaction is this is my favorite meta in Destiny history. I'm really enjoying this. There's a lot of usable weapons right now. I can pretty much take anything and do all right, save slow firing pulses and scout rifles. I mean, everything feels pretty damn good. The time to kill is in a nice spot. You get your supers a bunch. There's a lot of people. I'm very excited to try out Mayhem. Yeah, man. What do you think about those Iron Banner changes, Jay-Z?
I really like, especially if you have more people in a control zone, you should capture it faster. And I understand, like, the tacticalness of the original Destiny 2 control thought of, like, only one person needs to be in there, and it doesn't go any faster. But I definitely like, because that's the whole thing, is, like, if half your team's in the zone, you should be capturing it faster. And then it could add, like, split 3 and 3 up, or if you could send 4 over to one zone, capture it really quick, and then flank on the other zone.
I like that it gives you your super faster while putting you at risk to get supered.
Yes.
This will also make Nova Bomb way more viable.
Yes. Hasn't really been that viable overall in any game mode right now.
Exactly, and this will work because people are more. You will tend to kind of group up on the flags. This will work to make those smaller maps seem a lot bigger, which is something I'm pretty excited for.
And it'll also help with the Dawnblade being able to move from point to point faster too.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm very excited to try this out, and most importantly, I'm very excited to gather 5 friends. One of the worst things about 4v4 Crucible is we do a raid, and then we do something, and then we go to Crucible, and we're like, sorry, 2 of you guys can't stay, or whatever. Yeah. That sucks. So being able, on the launch day, we're going to get a full team of 6. We're going to mow over people. I cannot wait. That's going to be so much fun. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've already had signups for it. I don't remember. We've at least started it. Ritul will be there. Josh, I think Jay-Z will probably be there.
I'll play.
Awesome. Yeah, it's going to be awesome. The weapons we have, I don't think there's anything new. Nothing here jumps out. That's Gunmora's axe, Kramil's dagger, whatever that one's called, Ormond's anvil, whatever that one's called, Frostmire's hex. Yeah, I don't think anything's new here.
They all look way better than most of the weapon models in the game, though. So
yeah, I mean, they're pretty freaking nice. This Camille's dagger is a 3-tap headshot, and very nice. This I haven't tried the pulse rifle, or I did, but not since the update. Gunmore's axe is a Suro slug, so it got buffed with the recent update. I'll have to try out all this stuff, actually. I'm pretty excited for it. The next thing. Oh, let's see what if anyone says. Fury says, I don't want them to change the weapon system. I think it could use some tweaks, but I trust Bungie. Whatever they do, I think it'll be all right. Jacob, do you think we'll get the Outbreak Prime back in the next expansion? One, that is a very random question. Given the topic we're talking about. 2, it's a raid exotic, so I don't think we'll ever get Outbreak Prime back, at least not until the end of Destiny 2. That's really
wow. Yeah, that was out of left field there.
Yeah, I mean, I respect it. I'll answer any question. I like it, but yeah, man. Yeah.
Unless they bring Axis back, resurrect them.
Everyone just. Yeah, for real. Just everything comes back. Just one boss. Everyone just joining us, welcome. You've missed a lot, so make sure you rewind. There's a lot of amazing stuff in here. Definitely stuff you don't want to miss. The next segment, Rare Air. If you follow the conversation about ricochets between the leaders of the Destiny community, you may have heard that we invited some of them to visit our studio. Later on this month, we're hosting a community summit right here at Bungie. Now that our guests have had a chance to break the story, we want to let you know what this moment means to us. D says, our goals for this gathering is to get people from the community more involved in the way we make games, and to do that sooner in the creative process. We'll be previewing some of the things we're working on to gather feedback before they're locked. Our guests will also play some things that you'll get your hands on in the coming weeks. We've hosted community ambassadors before to see and capture new content, but this isn't the Destiny reveal event, which I went to. Yeah. This gathering is more intimate and more tactical. It must be said that it would be absolutely impossible to invite every single person in our community who is insightful or influential. The guest list is not a measure of who is important or who is relevant. For this gathering, we try to select a good cross-section to represent all kinds of Guardians. Some of them are familiar faces, others are new voices that we want to know better. Some of them are leaders with huge constituencies, others are solo players that we have come to know with strong opinions. We've targeted the hardcore elite who have mastered every challenge and the average players with a deep love for the game. We've invited cooperative raiders, competitive warriors, lore lovers, and some high school principal to make sure they all get along. Who's the high school principal? That'll be really interesting. Who the hell's that? This is a new step that we we are taking to be more collaborative, more transparent, and a little less worried about keeping secrets. This is not the first time we've welcomed players to see where we work and meet the people who make our games, and it won't be the last. Hey, that's good. They said it's not based on size. Maybe in the future. Deej, I'm looking at you. I love you, man. We've already talked once. Christopher Barrett, you're gonna get that damn hug, okay? Good.
Maybe he doesn't like hugs. That's why.
Yeah, maybe. Arlo is still coming up with ideas. Skarrow, in case you missed it, my system, specials and energies share a slot. No, why? Now you're making 3 slots too. Stop it. Stop this nonsense. Plus, how would specials and energies share a slot, but buff energies to be a similar power to specials so you have freedom? No, I don't think that would work because now in Crucible, you have 2 slots instead of 3, and every primary in your energy slot is now better than your kinetic, and you always have it. I like the enthusiasm. I don't like the idea. Sorry. I always hate telling people I don't like their ideas because I feel like a dick, but there's better ideas. Bungie will come up with something. We'll see, man. Some stuff. Anything big here? Nothing big here. Some stuff. All right, closing reports. Next week, we will be updating the developer roadmap to address some of the topics discussed during the bounty stream. Our forecast will be extended into the summer and beyond to give an idea of what is expected as we continue to evolve the Destiny 2 experience. Then they go over Nightfall high scores. As always, thanks for playing, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, I mean that's as solid as this week of Bungie as we've ever gotten. That was a really good one. I'm not gonna lie, that was a really good one.
Yeah. Especially it's not really like nothing's like right around the corner. I mean, kind of the new DLC is, but like.
Well, I mean, yeah.
They didn't have to make a huge one and give us all that information.
Yeah, exactly. And next week, we'll have the updated roadmap to go over, which will include 1.2.0, obviously. I imagine. We have to be getting some kind of summer update. We've talked about this before. I don't see them... Well, we'll have some type of event in the summer. We kind of have to. And then the new DLC. The summer one. So, or the fall one, rather. Alrighty, guys. Arlo, when will they announce the DLC? Monday. I'm calling Monday. Okay, here's the deal. Here's the deal. Everyone in chat, if it's Monday, you have to tell 5 of your friends about my channel or sponsor. Either one of those. You're locked. You're in the live stream. You can't do anything else now. Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be Monday. Okay, that's pretty much it. Anything? Do you have anything to add to that, Jay-Z? Anything at all?
No, I mean, I think it's great. It's a great roadmap, or not necessarily roadmap, but it's a great
insight.
Steps in the right, insight and steps in the right direction that they need to continue throughout the whole year, not just special times. So
yeah,
if they can continue to move forward with that, that's super exciting, especially for a game that we all love and want to do well.
Agreed. Yeah, man. You said it most. We all wanted it to do well, or you said it best. Well, you did also say most because you were the only person to say it, but you said it best. I want the game to succeed. I think it's doing pretty damn well right now. I can't wait to see what happens. This is good. This is very good. I'm very excited about this. Congratulations once again to everyone who got invited. Yeah, I mean that's all I got. I'm pretty happy for them. Yeah, man. What happens if it's not Monday? He has to make a video where he dances like a chicken? Oh shit. God dang it. Okay.
What did you have to it cut out?
I have to make a video where I dance like a chicken. I might include that. I might go more console and have a seizure for a video or something.
Oh,
I guess we'll see.
Oh, please don't.
I'll leave it on stream. Everything goes on stream,
Yeah.
Okay.
Stories, things like that.
Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it, guys. Once again, all of you amazing people. We had a lot of people in here today, so thank you. If you enjoyed the stream, leave a like rating. Once again, share it with your friends. We are trying to grow the channel quite a bit. I'm pretty excited about it. It was a solid update. If you're watching the recap or the archive, once it's already we're not live anymore, you're watching it now. Leave your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. I reply to every comment on my channel, or I at least try to, unless it's like fuck you, Skarrow. I roasted this kid. I roasted him earlier. I'll share that next stream or something. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end the stream. I'm Skarrow9. If you want to keep up to date with all my videos, obviously subscribe. If you want to know when we're going live for live streams, YouTube has been really stupid with notifications recently, so go follow me over on Twitter at Skarrow9. I always give a notification when I'm going live, and I let you guys know, like, hey, I'm going to have a live stream in 3 hours or whatever. Give you plenty of notice, so go follow me over there. Jay-Z, do your thing.
Jay-Z Basketball 25 on the Xboxes and the Twitters.
Yep. All right, everyone that says you love the stream, you're freaking awesome. You guys you make my day. So thank each and every one of you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Oh, well, kind of next week. I'll see you. I'll have a stream like tomorrow, Saturday. But we'll see you back in the last word next week. JC, do it again.
Peace.